Well, it looks like we're on the air after
months.
After being suspended from whatever services.
Yeah, we got in trouble. All of us got
90
red
days.
cards, and we couldn't do the podcast for a while. So.
Yep. I don't think that's really what happened.
That's how it goes. That's the story I'm sticking
Put them up.
to.
Get that water in the air, Alan.
That's right.
Good grief.
Water, baby.
Yeah, some hydrate, some don't.
I would drink, but I have a game in a little while. I don't know.
I once scored 5 goals in indoor drunk. Something to consider.
That's impressive. We're playing
Isn't
a
that
team.
what indoor's for?
Yeah.
We're playing a team that's pretty intense, so I have a feeling if I went tipsy, it wouldn't go great.
Is it
we'll see.
co-ed or men's?
Just go ahead.
You know, I've
Get some
watched
feisty girls in there.
Oh gosh.
You could call them that. I'm
Gotta
just
be
kidding.
careful.
No.
I've watched some of our previous episodes, and I'm not going to say a lot like I normally do. There's a lot of going on.
I believe it.
I'm going to
This
say
is my pause where I'm going to the next subject or whatever.
Well, I think that's
It's over.
everybody in the world.
Those days
does
are
that.
over, though.
I'm gonna say I
you're
mean
you're
and,
taking a stance.
a lot.
Huh?
I mean,
I'm gonna say I mean and
I
a
mean's
lot.
a good filler.
I mean, you all.
Yeah, well, yeah.
He's been playing outrageous
He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
for a
He's
17.
For a guy that doesn't have pubes, yeah.
He's 17
great.
and he can't get in this place. Where are we, Dave?
We are Skinny Slims Edmond, north of the wall.
But he can knock out your favorite Champions League team.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
This year.
yeah. I mean, heck, where do we start after being gone for so long? Obviously,
Crap.
this week, Champions League, Europa Conference, which you're the expert on that. Europa League, EPL. I mean, shit, we're down to.
CONCACAF Champions League
Yeah, probably.
happened last night. I'll fill you in.
Okay, yeah.
I watched some of
Lionel Messi played. If you didn't know,
Yeah, I watched some of that game, but I
it was
didn't.
intense.
Yeah, I didn't stay on to watch the whole how it ended.
It
I
was
saw it was
nuts.
1-1, and
It was intense. It was a really good match.
how did it end? 1-1.
3-1 Miami.
Oh
They
dang!
played who?
LAFC.
Okay.
In the
LA
second-
was up at
the
1-1.
Second leg, yeah, they scored the go-ahead goal. Aaron Long when I was.
I heard
texting him
your
about
we
that,
got your Aaron Long text.
1-0. I was like, holy shit, LAFC might knock Miami out at home, and
Right.
nope, that turned on its head pretty quick.
Which round?
and that was the quarterfinals. So now
No,
it's-
which round? Not which round.
which round?
Which round?
Which round? Quarters. So now it's
Okay.
down to the semifinals.
Who else is in the tournament? still?
Vancouver is lined up against Miami, and Tigres and Cruz Azul, I believe,
Okay.
out of Mexico. So we got 2 from each.
Okay.
At the moment.
Miami did not win it last year, correct?
They did not.
Okay. Who won it last year?
Are you talking the MLS or
No, the Confederations Cup. What are we talking about?
I think it was America
Okay.
last year. Yeah, Cruz Azul, Tigres, Miami, Vancouver.
Okay. They had the draw today or directly after the match, or
right
was
after
there a
the
bracket
match,
already
yeah,
in place?
Little bracket.
Vancouver
action.
scored some late goals to knock out Pumas, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Mexico City. So that was a
That was big.
big upset, I guess. You don't
Like
expect them to go
extra
away.
time or
Yeah, it was like
or
95th minute.
added time. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a lot. There was some action in America last night, at least, but
Yeah.
across the pond, there's been shit.
Oh
There's been a lot.
my! So it was super hot yesterday. I mean, Barca had an easy time with Dortmund. Not even the yellow wall or whatever they call it's going to erase that 4-0 deficit in the second
Yeah.
leg.
Dortmund hasn't even been close to their normal
How do they,
stats
how
this
do they
season.
continue to get in Champions League positions like this? Like
They're a
they
good tournament
advance.
team. I mean, they've been there, done that, right?
They got that new coach, or not new? Isn't he back? Nico Kovac or whatever.
Oh yeah,
He's
he
been
was
there
at-
before, right?
One of the Kovacs was at Bayern Munich for a while. There's 2. There's brothers, and I don't know if it was the same one that went to Dortmund. It would make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, out of all the matches, that was the one that was just no contest.
Yeah.
And Real Madrid.
But like the way Dortmund looked last year compared to this year,
Made the
Yeah.
final.
it's not even the same.
Yeah, they did.
But even in league play, like they just don't look the
Right.
same.
I think I heard they have 8 away losses or something like that this
Yeah.
year. So they can, if they go on the road in the league, like they just don't win.
I
Yeah.
think they're pretty young. They've had a bunch of turnover. They also changed managers from last year. If I'm
yeah.
correct.
Yep.
They always seem to restock and,
Yeah.
and get there, and obviously always kind of the second best team behind Bayern, which wasn't the case last year.
Oh.
I forget who even won it. Oh, it was
Leverkusen.
Alonso's team. Yeah. So, yep, it's coming down to semifinals. It looks like based on the first leg, a lot of things are settled.
Speaking of
kind
Bundesliga, though, Harry Kane might actually get a trophy. How about that?
Woo.
How about that, Dave?
I mean, you can't.
Does that fill
2
you
years
up
in-
with
no.
just warmth and
Tottenham will
excitement
claim
that
it,
a
yeah.
Tottenham fan?
I
or
mean, yeah,
Tottenham
if I
player-
can claim it somehow, that's great. It's like a distant cousin or something like that.
We get back to the academy. Yeah.
Are you going to sing "He's One of Our Own" when he lifts the trophy?
Sure.
Nice.
Might take a few beers, but
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that.
Do it.
I wonder when they would have it wrapped up. Anybody know? I mean, Liverpool's pretty much. The French league's done.
Somebody with
PSG wrapped
glasses
it up
is going to have
already.
to look. I didn't bring my glasses.
Damn, Daniel.
You don't bring glasses.
Sorry.
I
Yeah,
brought
guess
my
I shouldn't
shades,
ask
which
that
are
much.
prescription, but
Oh, we got the draw happening right now. We're in
Oh,
Group
for-
B, by the way, for Gold Cup.
when do we play the Gold Cup? Summer?
In June. Yeah. Looks like Mexico's been drawn with Costa Rica in Group
Oh,
A.
that's tough. That's tough.
Canada's Group B. Sorry,
We're a
Group
top
D.
seed, is that right? Over in the is that D? Is
We're
that what-
automatic seeded.
Okay.
Panama drew
After that-
Jamaica in C.
stunning performance we had in the last tournament?
Shut up.
Bayern is up by only 6 points on
Oh,
Leverkusen.
well, then no.
But their goal differential
Yeah.
is like 25.
So
against
Alonso's
theirs.
still keeping it close.
in
that guy,
points, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many more games? There's only 18 teams, so what do they
so
have?
there's
like
36, or no,
8 more
34.
games?
I guess. I mean,
6
I'm
more
assuming they
games?
just do home and away and there's no extra games.
Right.
But
So
yeah, it's coming down to it.
so they
that-
could have it
so
wrapped
they're-
up in the next 3 games.
Are they down 2-1 in Champions League? Or one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Inter went
Inter-
up 2-1.
Yeah.
Actually,
Inter
Thomas
2-1.
Muller came in and scored in
He
like
did.
the late, like 85th minute, maybe 84th minute, and was
The man's
just doing
halfway
his
out the door.
crazy and then they hit him back in extra time. That was it.
Germans don't really know how to celebrate. They just scream really hard
Yeah.
and pump their fists,
Yep.
which I appreciate.
Yep.
We need that back in soccer. We could use that in America, I think. Jeez.
I always thought Zlatan, when he was playing for United, would like break something, but he always just did his little fist pump and his exciting jump, and
Yeah.
he would yell.
He's
But
like,
you
let's
know,
go win shit.
Being a black belt and stuff, I always thought he was gonna like break a ad board or like chop an opponent in
Spinning
half
kick.
or something.
I
but
think he
no,
saved some of that for the locker room. I think people like to kind of poke him, and then he would,
kick him.
kick him.
Cantona,
So yeah,
Cantona kick him. Right in the chest.
at least Cantona was on live on TV in front of everyone, right? Yeah. So Inter's up 2-1 going into leg 2. Barca 4-0 over Dortmund.
And that's
Real-
all that happened. That's all that happened
Real-
in Champions League, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were no good free kicks or
nothing
goals
else, yeah.
in North London. That didn't
But
happen.
EPL teams didn't play.
And if it did, I can edit that out later. That's not a problem at all. Hey, I have to admit, those were. I don't know that Declan Rice has even ever made free kicks. I think they said those were his first ones.
West Ham, I'm
Okay.
sure he did.
Well, he didn't make any like that.
He's never made any that
Agreed.
perfect. That
Well,
was
I don't know if
those
anybody
were
has.
those were
crazy.
perfect.
Those looked like a video
Yeah.
game.
That second one was like inch perfect.
He's
I don't
watching
think you could
FIFA.
fit it into that corner.
Yeah.
anybody.
He's watching FIFA, and he's just kind
Seriously.
of taking little tips from the video game, and because those were remote controlled. And
I watched his interview afterwards,
yeah,
and he was like,
Had a huge
they
boner.
don't they don't have enough players in the wall. Like I think I can get it around them, and their plan was to like chip it over and just have Gabriel or whoever try and head it. But he basically was talking to Saka, and Saka said, "Hey man, if you feel it, go for it." Well, I would say he definitely
He felt it.
felt it.
that first one Courtois was never going to see
No,
because he went around the right of the wall. He was never
it
going
was
to catch
perfect bend
Yeah.
too to fit in that.
it. Let's not give him too much credit though. And then Mourinho who scored the third. That was actually a pretty clever goal.
It was.
That was like 4 minutes after that second free
Yeah, they
kick.
got on a roll. They got hot real
Arsenal
quick.
was fucking rocking that
Just a
night.
blitzkrieg.
And Real Madrid wasn't ready for that sort of a blitz, and their forward players didn't look like they had much of an answer for Arsenal's defense.
They've lost some of their teeth, I think. They still whine and they still have.
Of course, they're
they still have
spoiled.
like fight, but it's more like a whiny fight. It's not like no, we're just gonna.
Ancelotti's still a really good
Get after
manager,
it, don't do
and
it.
there's a good chance that
It's
they
the
will
players, dude.
they will give Arsenal all they want in that second leg at home.
If it
And
was 2-0, I'd feel pretty
that,
good.
yeah, of course.
But 3-0.
Three's a lot.
That's
And
a
it-
lot. I agree that they might come back and be able to do it,
Right.
but I don't know that they'll win it in regulation. They
Away,
may have to go
away
extra
goals are
time.
not a thing though.
No, well,
Right.
it'd be interesting to see what kind of strategy Arteta puts into play, being up +3.
Yeah.
Is he going to play it conservative, or is he? Who knows? But it's going to get my viewership.
What's gonna happen is Madrid's gonna be fired up. They're gonna get an early penalty call.
Yeah.
It's gonna go 3-1. Then it's just gonna be chaos after
Yeah,
that.
good.
Complete
Good.
chaos.
And then in the fourth match, PSG over Aston Villa. Aston Villa gave up a cheap goal. I mean, I don't even know I can't remember the goal itself, but giving up a goal that late when 2-1 would have been perfectly fine going to your home leg.
Right.
3-1's not insurmountable, but anyway, PSG was dominating them. I don't know if you watched that, but this Dewey guy,
Dude,
I don't know that much
that
about
goal?
him.
He's
That
18.
kid is unbelievable.
He's
He
young, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
19 or something.
Yeah, so look out for that guy.
They've got a fun team to watch now. It's not the It's not the old PSG. And yeah, they buy whoever they want, but
If you had to,
they got a lot of youngsters and some dudes you've never even heard of
Oh, for sure.
playing on their squad.
But they look like an actual team. They don't look like a bunch of individuals
Enrique's a boss, man.
Yeah, they've
I
really,
like him a lot.
they went and got Messi and did all that stuff, and they were just the kind of the Real Madrid, but
Yeah,
they
did
didn't
the Neymar,
have
Messi, Mbappe thing.
they didn't have enough of a team spirit or whatever it was, and they came close. They knocked at the door.
Yeah, they
but-
did come close. You would hope they would have come close.
Yeah. So the semifinals, the second leg is going to be interesting on a couple of these, and then the semifinals, you know, it is from here on. It's just going to be amazing. So.
Forces through. You probably think PSG advances unless there's just a huge
Yep.
collapse.
Ooh, kid's coming with a Diet Coke refill.
And a bowl of chili.
Oh, God,
Oh,
what are we on an
snap.
airplane or something? Wow,
Jackson.
peanuts.
Fuel up for your game, man.
Yeah, so staying in Europe, we had Europa League and Europa Conference, which affected all three of us today.
We were all
affected
live.
us in different ways. Well, you and me are right in the same little area with what happened.
I was going to ask you guys if you had to put money down. Thanks, Jackson. If you had to put money down, who you got on winning the Champions League right now, just based off of what we've seen?
Champions League, Barcelona.
You think they look the best? Or you
I
think
mean,
Trump?
they've just been there, done that kind of deal. I know Arsenal's kind of the hot deal right now with what they just did. PSG's better, like we talked about.
I'm not counting out either of those teams that we're not speaking of, Bayern or Inter.
Inter's a good tournament
they
team.
can get there.
Got to
Yeah.
the final a couple of years ago, and they weren't that.
Thuram was amazing with his hold-up
If
play the other
Lukaku
day.
Was he?
puts away one of
He was
those
a boss. They're dangerous, and that's somebody you don't really think of. It's not always sexy to
Do they have the same manager?
Inzaghi or whatever?
Yeah,
I believe
he's a good manager. I remember, if he's still there, a couple of years ago in Champions League, he was good at adjusting to the other team's style, which a lot of managers do. Usually it's like
Italian.
Conte or whoever, like, this is how I play, try and stop it. We're not really anything other than that, but I feel like that's why they advance in tournaments. If you got a manager willing to and you have the players they're diverse enough to do what you're trying to do, maybe they'll go through. So 2-1 over Bayern. Bayern's a little spoiled too, let's face it. They're kind of like Real, where they can. The Bundesliga, yeah, there's a couple teams that kind of give them fits, but overall they
expect
usually
them to
win the
get to this
league.
point, yeah.
It's not as hotly contested historically, so that kind of transfers over into. I mean, Bayern's really only won it once in a long time, right? So
they beat Dortmund.
they're kind of like a PSG in the sense that they knock at the door, but yeah, they beat Dortmund.
The one thing that worries me about PSG, I mean, they're doing great, is they don't have like a striker like the other teams. Like Bayern have Harry Kane, Barcelona has Lewandowski. I don't think Lewandowski gets talked about enough.
No,
That guy is
legendary.
unreal.
Can't forget him.
He's so freaking good.
He just
I think
won't
he's
quit.
one of 3 guys that has triple-digit Champions League goals.
Yeah,
The other 2 being the 2 best players to ever play soccer.
right.
And then
Yeah.
and then you have Inter with Martinez.
Martinez and Thuram up top, like,
And
yeah,
then,
those are, that's a good strike force there.
Is it Lukaku still there?
No, he's at Napoli.
Oh, is he at Napoli? Okay.
You say Martinez and Varane up top?
Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. Marcus
Thuram.
Thuram.
I thought you said Varane. I'm like, what?
Thuram.
Came back just to play striker.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's exciting and less exciting, but I guess the matches themselves are exciting. We had our Europa League games today. Mine didn't have the heartbreak at the end like yours. I hadn't even seen the goal that happened. I signed off, and I thought you all had won. I was waiting to see the FT full time.
20 seconds left.
Yeah, and so what the hell happened? Onana parried a ball away. Is that right?
Well,
Because we like to blame him all the time.
I mean, I think he needs to be moved on. I don't think he's good enough. But I don't think the last goal was actually his fault.
What do we got there?
Yeah.
He's got a 4.8 rating on
Yeah,
Fop.
he
What's
wasn't
red? Yeah, he's in the red.
It's in the red.
Yeah, he wasn't great. I don't know that the last one was completely his fault. If you watch the replay,
Okay.
the guy shot the ball from about the middle of the box.
Yeah, I mean,
like almost from the penalty spot.
It's a rocket.
And it was right at Onana, and so he went down and hit it, or tried to stop it. Of course, he parried it right back towards the center of the goal, and their player was there to
Tap
it
in, rebound. Yeah. Ryan Cherky.
He chipped it over Onana. But yeah, so my thing, the first goal though, he got his hands to it on a free kick. It was one of those ones where you can't tell if the guy's going to head the ball or not.
Yeah.
the guy doesn't head it. And so Onana reacts to the ball going towards the corner and tries to get it away, and it hits his hands, but bounces
Understandable.
over
Yeah.
and goes in.
You have
So
to keepers
it
have to
wasn't
make
good.
up their minds at some point based
it
on what
wasn't
they
good.
see. Yep.
And here's my thing: the second he said what he said about Leon in the week,
Yeah.
I was like, dude, you're
What's
gonna
the
blow
point?
it.
What's the point?
Well, I'm like, dude, you're putting extra pressure on yourself and extra scrutiny on yourself and the team.
Right.
I was like, he's gonna make some stupid ass
All right.
mistake.
And lo and behold, right? Oh, here
Yep.
we go. Watching this sucker. This is it right here, huh?
It was a pretty entertaining match. Like both teams went.
Yeah, I
for
wondered
it.
how your run of play was just overall.
Xerxes subbed on and scored, right?
Yeah, he looked
Hey,
good, but that was the final goal.
That wasn't. I get it.
I mean, what's he supposed to do? Catch that thing? I don't know.
I have a feeling like De Gea had
Kick
a
it
really
away? Foot save, maybe?
Yeah, De Gea had a really good parry, and we don't give him enough credit, but he did pretty well usually on parrying the ball out to the sides.
Yeah.
Onana has consistently parried it back in the middle.
Yeah.
He has not done a great job of getting it to the side. So now the problem is we need so many players in other positions. I don't know that they'll focus.
Yeah,
on
I wouldn't.
getting a
I wouldn't
goalkeeper,
blame this on
but-
him.
Maybe he was
That's-
blocked, too.
Yeah, that's coming in hot. I mean, it's
That's
not the hardest shot you've ever seen, but
right.
it doesn't have a lot of time to
Pretty
react. And let's face it, nobody was on the ball.
My thing is too many players were going to ground, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, people should have been. And look, Lindelof, our center back, isn't
Well,
even in the right position.
He shouldn't be
there.
in the
Anyway.
squad anymore,
Well,
anyway, right?
I've never seen a manager, Amram, subbing so many defenders all the time. He just loves to sub defenders
Yeah.
at some point in the game.
Yeah, that's a sketchy one to just
Well-
throw in. Yeah, well,
No.
I'm saying defenders in general, like they're not warm. Like you toss them into a match, center back position. Like,
I think he's
that's
so
not a sub
worried
you usually see.
About Maguire getting injured again that he just wants to manage the minutes really badly.
Well, you
Because
go.
DeLitt is injured right now, and so he needs DeLitt
Yeah.
or Maguire to play center back.
You go home 2-2. What next
It's
week?
not that bad of a result.
No,
it's
no.
just frustrating that in the last 20 seconds you gave up a goal.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's-
Leon's not bad,
No,
No, I knew that before
and
the match
Tanner
started.
Tessman did not play, so you lucked out.
No.
Thank God.
I think he set out like the birth of his child. Otherwise, he would have probably started. So,
Okay.
congrats to him, right?
Okay, so we got you out of the way. Now talking about another guy.
So when's the second leg? Next
Wednesday.
Thursday
Next
again?
Thursday, yeah. Another guy who got a draw today. I wasn't completely discouraged by Tottenham.
Frankfurt.
They had
Where was
it was at home. It was 1-1. It was a spirited performance. I mean,
Dave, listen to
some of
yourself
those
right
matches have been so bad that we're
You need him. You need fuel.
we have no energy. We try to play out of the back slowly, and it's just ugly and stupid and a waste of everyone's time. Today, at least, I mean, if you look at the player ratings, I looked before I came here. Most all of them are 7s and 8s, except for the top 3 up there in front: Solanke, Son, and fucking Johnson.
Solanke was the solution to all your historical
Well,
problems.
it's not, and I'll explain why.
'Cause
It's
Ainge?
because, well,
I was
partly
hopeful
Ange's
before
system
the season.
is by the time we get up the pitch, it's almost like we're waiting for the defense to get back. It's like we can't go forward until we have all of our players where they're supposed to be, and then by that time, you've got 10 guys behind the ball, and Solanke's just in a crowd.
It's too late.
And it's too late. And so, guess what? He's just, if you put the perfect cross in for his head, maybe. But there's not this making the defense, there's no guesswork to it. And so you've got somebody,
Your
and
midfielder
Madison,
just
that's
got
how we got our
pickpocketed
goal.
at midfield.
Madison,
Yeah.
Madison finally took things into his own hands. And ran at the defense, went around a guy.
Dave, that's a horrible.
Everyone
goal
got
to give up.
it was a great shot.
It was, but
But,
look how many guys you.
but yeah, Madison gave the ball away on
was
their
a
goal.
terrible giveaway,
Madison
yeah.
gave the ball away, and Poro bit on the cutback.
You have
so-
fucking 9 guys.
I find it odd that you're saying about the trying to go and score a goal, getting down the field, because last year you guys were great on the transition,
Right.
and just getting up the field and
And we've slowed our games considerably. There's some game, and it's inconsistent. There's some games where we just come out like the last game of the Europa League, home and away with Alkmaar. We sat on the road. We sat back. They pressed us. We tried to play on the back really slowly. Nothing happened. We were awful. We couldn't get it to our 6. We couldn't get it to anyone. Played the home leg, and we started carving them from bit to bits. So I don't understand this team.
Poro score.
That was
Yes,
a
it was a
dirty
back
goal.
heel. It was a
Holy
sick.
Shit, that was gross.
It was sick. So the two guys that were the villains at one end were the
Poro's a good player.
heroes.
He's probably better than you guys are.
No,
I think he is.
he's really not. He's really not.
Yeah, I think he's pretty inconsistent.
He's very inconsistent.
Yeah,
he's got a
Tottenham's
great spirit.
inconsistent.
Yeah, but watch his
What are we
back
talking
heel.
about?
Yeah,
That is a nice.
yeah. He's not the guy. He's great.
Who's the guy if he's not at Tottenham?
Well, you put Spence out on the right.
Spence's look good.
Oh, he's great,
I
and
like
we just
Spence.
didn't start him today. We put him in late in the game, but anyway, I wasn't totally discouraged because they had enough purpose throughout the match.
Yeah.
There's been so many matches like pass. There's nothing to show for it. Our XG is horrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if we have 60% to their 40. There's nothing. You can't even almost figure out what we're trying to do. But then you'll see a game. Basically, my breakdown of Spurs, no matter what match it is, if you're dumb if you don't press us and make us try to play it out of the back, or you're dumb if you're not that good, you're dumb for not playing a low block. If you give us space throughout the pitch on the way up, that's where we love to do our thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we beat City 4-0. I know it's a down year for them, but City will sell out all their players, and then look at all the little places you can go. Your
space.
midfield's showing for the ball.
Yeah.
You can put them to the sword. You play somebody that wants to sit back, which is a problem for everyone. I mean, none of us like to play the old West Brom when they were in the EPL and they just sit back.
Dude, Forest
Then
this
they-
year are doing it to a T.
but they're doing well with it. It's really a
That's
good.
what I'm saying. They're doing really well.
But we had 2 shots off the bar in the second half. We deserved to win, so to speak. Bergvall was the hero again. He's the only guy out there just about that is.
He was in United's academy.
Yeah, was he really? I don't remember that.
I thought, or maybe he got invited to, and I swear he wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
So we played well enough, but the problem is this was the home leg. So now we got to go to
Yeah, you gotta win
Frankfurt,
that at home.
who's got the best defense in the Bundesliga, and that place is crazy
Man, Son
at
had a
home.
good chance.
Since
too.
when
Yeah.
did they wear orange?
I have no idea.
That threw me
like
the hell
the Netherlands,
off. I thought it was going to be all black or
right?
They're big
So-
OSU fans, so they love Mike Gundy.
big Stillwater
They
weekend.
just love Mike Gundy.
We beat them on every stat, which is rare. Usually we beat everyone on possession, but the other stats look awful.
Mm-hmm.
So again, but you got to be clinical, right?
Poro
So
put
it
in a
is to
perfect
it.
cross.
Yeah, he did good today.
Well, next week will be interesting for you guys going to Frankfurt. So.
I know. I'm saying
not a
I don't
place-
like it. I would have loved to at least be one up, but
Ooh, that was a good chance too.
anyway, that's a long
Damn.
little segment there on Spurs in the Europa League.
I forgot to bring up also. United are almost playing like down a man with Hoyland up top. Like there are certain games
Man,
where
I would
he
be
looks
furious
decent.
if I was a Man United fan about
I mean,
that guy.
he looks all right. I think he's a good player. I think there's a good player in there. He's been overplayed and over relied on.
He's not starting Man United
Well,
quality right
No.
Someone
he
made
needs to be brought up and randomly used,
Yes.
not
Yeah.
used all the time.
He's
right
doing
now.
Someone made
Xerxes
a-
did today.
Excuse me. Someone made a point last year. You're United striker. You're United number one. Should be some guy that I don't care if it's Lukaku, whoever, that scores 30 goals a year or is pushing for that.
Right.
Go ahead and talk, guys.
Front man.
Go ahead, Doc. No, seriously.
And you
need-
bring in this kid who
And look at
if
the
you're
track
bringing him
record
in,
y'all have had there.
Yeah, if you want to get this kid before anyone else does, and he's an up and comer, fine. But you shove him in there, and how many? I mean, how
That's
many goals?
Delap
does he
at the
have?
moment. Yeah,
How many goals does he have?
I have no idea.
I mean,
In
since,
the Prem?
since he's been there, yeah.
Since he's been there, I mean, he might be like at 15 or
That's terrible.
over the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, I don't think he's horrible, but that's just not
It's like in Cuckoo for us.
United.
Yeah, no, I think he could be a decent player. He's still young. He's still like 20.
Yeah.
maybe 21.
what I'm
But
saying.
he's still
He's
young.
not- he's
but
not
he
the guy.
needed time, and
I
he
agree.
didn't get it. He just got thrown into the
Where
fire.
does he come from? Italy or Spain? Where was he at? Italy, right?
Italy.
No, he went. Was he?
Yeah, he came from.
I thought he was at Copenhagen.
No, I mean maybe at one point, but he got nabbed from Syria because he was doing well there, right? Wherever he was.
I mean, he did all right. He wasn't actually getting played a whole lot, but of his appearances, he scored like 8 or 9 goals in Serie A, and
Yeah.
so he looked really promising as like an 18, 19-year-old. So they wanted to kind of get ahead of the curve, but still to spend $70 million on him.
Yeah, that's
this is
crazy.
the result we're getting after 2 seasons.
Right.
It's not good.
Not his fault
He's
necessarily.
actually done well in Europa. You know, coming out of the group stage,
Yeah, I
he was
remember
the
that.
leading. Out of the group stage, he was the leading goal scorer. But who did you guys play today, Trent?
Liga
Well, that's what I
Warsaw.
said. As we climb the mountain from Champions League to Europa League to conference,
That's exactly right.
what happened? It was an easy win, at least on paper.
Yeah, we had a weird
He was
lineup.
born in Copenhagen, so you got that right. He probably started.
He didn't play in Copenhagen.
Probably choose Copenhagen.
He probably started. Atalanta. That's where we got.
Okay,
it from.
That's right.
That was-
I kept wanting to say Inter, but I was like, I know he wasn't at Inter.
They built a good squad.
Yeah, they did.
Atalanta. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were away in Poland today.
I think Mattawecki had 2. Is that right?
Yeah, we rotated a bunch of guys, and
You guys have been doing that, right?
yeah, it's I don't know the lineup week in week out.
Oh,
Honestly,
Palmer and Reese played though.
Yeah, but they both subbed off early. Palmer played one half.
I mean, I would
Subbed
save
off.
him for the league too, just so you guys can keep your Champions League spot.
Yeah, it was,
How is that even possible? That
What's
still puzzles me. Champions League
for
spot.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I just can't do the math on it. It's like Spurs being our goal difference is like plus 20 or whatever it is,
You're like
and we're
at plus
down at-
11.
and we're down with the schleps.
Yeah, you're at plus 13 and you're below United
That's
at
just
minus 4.
there's just no there's no algorithm for any of this stuff.
no sense.
But I think that's the what's the word I'm looking for? State of the
There's
league.
only been one team that's been consistent, and they're a really good team. Are they top Premier League of all time? Hell no.
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 They are
It's a down year.
capitalizing. They are capitalizing on a very down year.
It's a down year.
Credit to them, but look at our. Look
This
at our
reminds
three.
me of. This reminds me of when United won their last Premier League.
What was that? 13?
13.
Okay.
The whole league wasn't great, but United won it on like 82,
Right.
83,
Yeah.
4 points.
Usually it's in the 90s, right? It's
Well, since City had been winning it, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, United weren't great that year, and I remember listening to pundits talk about that. Like, this is not a super impressive United team, but the whole Premier League's kind of down, and
better
they
than
were
the
the
other
most
guys,
consistent.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't
Basically
remind
what
me
it
of that
is.
stuff. I mean, the 15 when
they lost the FA Cup and they got bounced out of Champions League, so you
Yeah.
can't really put them up there with.
I mean, the
The
one
all-time.
chance we have at it, and Leicester pulls the frickin' miracle of all
Thing that'll
miracles,
never
the
happen
Douglas
again.
versus Tyson. I mean,
Yeah, that was
So-
crazy. Another season of downtime though. That's a weird transition time in the
Yeah.
Premier League.
Yeah.
Oh, I was also going to bring up. I mean, this is some of the worst relegation teams we've seen in the Prem.
100%.
Southampton
Southampton.
might be the worst.
oh, we
So
took,
the
we,
whole-
we took
I
them
think they
down.
were,
They went down. Spurs. That's the one good thing we did this year.
There's your trophy.
That's
They
our
were,
headline: is that we relegated someone, right?
There's your
It's
trophy.
the earliest a team's been relegated in the Premier League. Not lowest points, but the earliest they've
That's
been.
crazy because I remember
Well, and
Derby.
Leicester can't even score.
They had-
Derby County was
Derby
so
had the
bad
lowest
one year.
points, but they weren't
Oh.
eliminated soon.
Okay, there was somebody down there with them that was.
But this early in the season is
Well,
Sunderland's
and Leicester
title.
can't even score freaking goals at home.
Horrible, man.
Yeah, Rude is not the guy.
Their squad's horrible.
I was happy he got the job. I mean, but
You seen their squad? It's awful.
Leicester, when they beat us at home, so that's why I'm saying.
We lost to Ipswich. so-
And we lost to Ipswich at home too. So
hey, they've got a hot striker who's going to get bought.
yeah, the injury thing is
Delap,
over. I
yeah.
can't, I like that
Was
guy.
he at City or Chelsea's academy?
City.
Cities.
yeah.
Yeah. So if United buy Delap because they were linked somehow,
think we both are.
City would get like 20% of the
Fee of
sale
it.
or something like that. So
Fuck you.
paying them
He's
some
good
money.
though. He's young,
is.
and he's.
He's got like 14
I was
goals
about to say he's got
for a
some-
relegation
got some
team.
goals in him for a
I think
really
he's got
bad
10
team.
assists too.
That's
He's
a
had-
lot. If
he's
he
done
has
well.
24 GA, that's a lot.
I don't know if it's all in the Prem, but
I
it
don't
might
care.
be.
It's still a lot
It's
for
still good.
Ipswich. Yeah.
Speaking of the Prim,
Yeah, but yeah, Chelsea won 3-0 today. Sorry.
yeah.
We don't need to talk about that match that much.
And it was in Poland.
Yeah, it was away. So, yeah, Mattawecki came on and scored 2 goals.
The
We had a
hooligans were more-
19-year-old winger score, Tyreek George.
Tyreek George.
He's a
huh?
guy, like, I'm like, play him. And we don't, because it's Chelsea and we don't give youngsters a chance. But if we move
Maresca
on
doesn't
from
trust
him,
I guess.
I don't know who the fuck Maresca trusts, honestly, because he switches his lineup so much. But I don't trust
Well,
him.
not Mudryk
I don't
because he
trust
hasn't
him.
played in forever, right?
He's drinking horse semen trying to get stronger. Dude.
That was a funny post, by the way.
But yeah, we'll see. We play them next week. We should win comfortably. But
I think
yeah,
everyone's
Premier
just-
League's more my focus at the
I
moment.
think everyone's just kind of ready for the season to end. I mean, because it's the title's already decided for the most part.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
care about the league that much. I just want
Oh,
us
I
to do
know.
well in Europa. That's
Yeah,
all I
Right.
care
Yeah.
about.
What can we meet in the final?
No, I don't want to.
No, but can we?
I mean,
I didn't say will we.
should it happen? No, you guys are terrible. Neither of y'all should be there. Never mind.
But that would be
I mean,
kind
that-
of funny.
Sincerely.
Did you guys see that?
But honestly, and
I would cry if we lost to them in the final.
Did you see Bodo Glimt is 2-up?
Yeah.
on
Dude,
Lazio?
oh my God.
Was that
Who's
in the
number
snow?
1 in Europa?
That's to say, that's the team you're most afraid of is Lazio.
Yeah.
Where's Bodo Glimt from? Are they Norwegian? What are they?
no.
Yes,
Was it
Norway.
Norwegian?
Norway.
Is there like a baby Holland in that team or something? What's going
Probably.
on? Wow. Yeah, I saw that, and that just took a double
Yeah,
take.
we could meet in the final.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys are better than Rangers.
I'll meet you. When is the final? May what?
You guys are better than. You guys are not better than Athletic Bilbao.
Man, you would get a big break if Bodo won. and
I
you
want
met
that big
them
break.
in the semifinal.
So there's not draws on this. It's
So
just the
where's-
bracket's already set.
Where's Lyon in the French table?
They're like 4th,
Okay. So.
so they're not having a bad season, and they're actually in good form. They've won
kinda
like
what
the
I was-
last
yeah.
5 out of their 6 or something.
I was wondering where Frankfurt and Lyon are at.
Frankfurt's third.
Third?
Yeah.
Wow, did not know that.
They're a solid team. They've been
Nothing
they've been
special,
playing
but-
well the last few years. I mean,
So
they
their
won Europa.
defense is really
They won
good?
Europa League 2 or 3 years ago against Rangers.
Yeah, with Jovic up
Yeah.
top, that guy that
Yeah.
went and signed a deal for Madrid, and we never heard from him again.
Rangers lost
Frankfurt are
today.
third.
Rangers had a red card and lost today.
Yeah, I
so-
saw the red card in Rangers, and I just kind of grinned when I looked at my phone. I was
Oh
like,
yeah, you sent a text about
I
that.
can imagine what that was about.
Yeah. So yeah, the
Holy
league
shit,
the
breaking
league
news.
is just not.
The United States has drawn Haiti, Trinidad, Tobago, and Saudi Arabia in the
Saudi
Gold Cup.
Arabia
They are the invitee, Dave.
because they got the World Cup in 2090
Well, you know how
or whatever it is.
They got a pander, so yeah. No, they're the next host of the World Cup.
Who's the richest country
The
in
30.
the world? Invite them.
34, right? 2030 or 34.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, big money deal there. So
Okay.
yeah, we will play Saudi Arabia in America.
Okay.
Hot ticket item. Where should
Hey,
that?
you know-
where should that be played?
Hey, you know.
Montgomery, Alabama.
Yeah, that'll go over well. Jackson, Mississippi. You know, they came over in '94 and went to the second round because it was like 120 degrees on the
Yeah.
pitch, and they did well in that tournament because everyone else was dying, and they were like, "This ain't nothing."
Yeah,
I was 6 years old.
I was born in
Yeah,
that.
I totally remember
I'm
that.
sure you were watching it.
Oh, we had it on.
I was not 6 years
We
old,
had
but
it on. You were 69 years old. All right, back to the Prem.
yeah. So, like I said, I mean, we've got matches this weekend. We're playing Wolves. Sunday's a pretty good lineup as far as the marquee teams playing. Saturday, I don't know.
Hey, by the way, Alan, Man United had that Man Derby watch party. How'd that go?
Oh God, that was a good crowd.
Yeah, it was awesome. There was probably like 70 people there.
golly, yeah.
There was a buttload, and Dave's uncle made it, which was cool.
Yeah,
That
I
was
saw him
Sporting
there.
We did
His
see
Tottenham.
him, yeah.
I saw him there. I'm assuming he was over at Skinny's prior to the match and got word. how
Moseyed
into
on over.
I was not. I wasn't there. I'd been gone, and I just watched at home.
Yeah, that U.S.-Canada match that I was the American Outlaws representative for.
Yeah.
I was impressed. There was probably 40 or 50 of us, and I didn't know probably 90% of them. So
You know what
I
though?
was trying to talk to everybody and spread the word and
Yeah.
link up with everybody. And
I think there needs to be a standing room only type of. That's the one thing about Skinnies I like is just standing up, like it.
oh, that's the
They're just sitting around talking to people and just chilling and watching a game.
no, yeah.
It's probably
it's different environment for sure.
Not enough for me.
I like the
Sorry.
options to do both, but like when
Yeah,
you
you got kids. and
just
shit.
have sitting around as the
Well,
only
it was a
option, this was-
family-friendly event.
I mean, like
get it.
some of us actually stood up during the
Oh, yeah.
United.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying. As long as
City
there's
match, 'cause
there's a
that's
kind
what
of
we're
a
used to.
mix and match of
Yeah.
how you watch the match.
Well, yeah, for that you can just do whatever you want because you're the only people in there, right?
Yeah.
US
Was
match,
anybody
we were standing
sneaking their kids' beer at that?
I tried. They wouldn't let me.
Okay.
I caught Alan's kid smoking a cigarette under the stairs. He was like, "This match sucks."
Sometimes you got
Hey, that was 0-0. That was horrible, by the way.
Yeah, that match was brutal. I turned it off.
I watched 3 full soccer games last week. It was Chelsea, Brentford 0-0.
Ugh.
It was Man United, Man City 0-0. That afternoon, I watched Austin FC and somebody else on Fox Sports 1.
Portland?
0-0. Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
1-1
No,
or
no.
0-0-2.
and I was just like,
Well, the thing about the United Derby, I get it. It'd be like if we played Arsenal and it was 0-0. You're still down to the very last second. You're like, a goal would just be great.
Right.
It's still an
At this
event.
point?
It's still So
We had two
I say that all
clear-cut
the
chances.
time.
yeah.
and
You
couldn't
guys
put 'em
you guys
away.
could have won that match.
The honestly, the forwards are killing us. The defense isn't that bad. The midfield still needs to be figured out a bit,
Bruno
but they're
is
doing okay.
Fucking incredible.
But Bruno's
Yeah.
doing his thing. But literally, if Bruno, like even today, if Bruno doesn't put the cross
I
on a
hate him.
plate to Xerxes' head,
Yeah.
no one's going to
I
score.
was gonna ask you about that. I saw the
Garnacho,
note.
it needs to
Said
be a
header,
sub.
Bruno assist, and I was like, had to be a good ball.
It was a great ball. Garnacho needs to be a sub. Hoyland needs to be a sub, if not sold, potentially.
Okay, was
or loaned
Garnacho
out or
not tearing
something.
it up 2 years ago when he first got there?
Who?
Garnacho.
As a sub when Cristiano was there, yeah, he was doing all right.
That's what I'm thinking
He
of,
did
yeah.
play a couple of games in Europe, and he started off well.
He was
I
always
don't,
dangerous
I
with
don't
the ball.
rate
I
that
thought.
guy anymore.
I think it's got to his head, too. I just think the
He's
poor
got the
form,
Sancho in him. He's got the Sancho in him.
The poor form has just gotten to his head. Right, Sancho is potentially a good player. He's inconsistent, but
He's got a head case problem
Guys,
something
it's all
because
these
he's
freaking wingers.
he's up and down.
It's all the wingers in the Prem right now.
Well, Garnacho to me, he's in
They
the
all
right
do the
spot
same
at the right
thing.
time quite often. His final product is horrible.
exactly.
And it's like, God, and he just looks like a fucking 5-year-old. So it's like, it's easy to just like, this little baby, he sucks. But he's got, maybe if he had better players around him, and I'm not trying to bag
Exactly.
on your team, but
Exactly.
if he did,
No, exactly.
he'd play his role. And
Well, he would be a sub, and he would be able to come into like some League Cup games and do all right.
right.
You need a beer?
Yeah, please.
You think? I'm gonna make a beer run.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just really inconsistent when it comes to the final product. Today, it was like a 3-on-2 with him, Bruno, and Xerxes, and
Yeah.
he had Bruno on the outside, and he passed it too far in front of Bruno, so Bruno had to lunge, and Bruno, because he's lunging, his touch was terrible. And then, Garnacho gets upset at Bruno, and Bruno gets upset at Garnacho.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you messed up that entire chance because you took too long to make the pass.
Yeah.
And then when you made it, it wasn't very good.
I think he is in his own head, and that comes down to week after week after week. It's been a struggle for
Well,
United for a while now.
When United are playing the worst football in 40 years, the
Right.
fans are going to be on you.
because your manager says so outright.
yeah. But also, like, the fans are going to be on you. Social media is going to be, like, absolute hell. Like,
Right.
don't go on there. But he does. So he's messing with his own head when he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think if, they can get some other players, get some good form, I think he could contribute. But
Right.
it,
He's one of
right
those
now,
players
no.
that could go to somewhere in Spain and just be just fine.
loan him out. Yeah,
Yeah.
loan him out.
Yep.
That would be that. I mean, I don't think that would happen. I mean, it could, but I'd be surprised.
Was he the bicycle guy?
Yeah.
So he had a shining
Against
moment. It's
Everton?
probably
Yeah.
all downhill from there.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
Dele
for sure.
Alli with the Crystal Palace goal. It's all downhill from there. So
I actually was watching some. It popped up on my, I think, Instagram feed. Like someone just posted, like, man,
Porn.
remember how good Dele Alli was? And I was seeing some highlights, and I was like, dude, he really
he had
was at like 2021. It was
unbelievable.
freaking
It was
good.
not a fluke. That's a 30 for 30.
I saw the.
That's
they-
a 30 for 30.
They included the highlights of y'all against Real Madrid.
It was unbelievable. Him and
Ericsson
Ericsson both were killing it.
Yeah, I mean, he played so well, and then he just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
I know he came out and did the interview and said it was all mental stuff,
yeah.
but still.
Well,
it's
it
just-
was, and
it's crazy how high he got.
Mourinho broke him.
Mourinho was really hard on him, and
Yeah.
nobody had ever really told him that he needed to shape up.
Yeah.
Which that's bad on Mourinho. Is you got to play to some guys' egos, but Mourinho's
something he will
the
never
king
do.
of egos, right? So there's that. Kid's coming with a fresh Guinness.
Raider.
What's with all that tough stuff on the top? Is that gonna?
It's a little design.
I'm paying for a full beer.
It's a three
That's
studs
milk.
up design.
That's milk.
Oh, it's milk. Mother's milk. Okay.
It's froth.
Thanks, Jackson. So yeah, EPL, not that exciting, but let's face it, we've got.
Did we talk about who we have?
Well, relegation zone. Where are we? Is that pretty much decided for the other two teams?
I mean, I'd be real surprised if
Because Leicester,
Yeah, they're
is
all
able
done.
to get out.
And
Isn't it Southampton?
they're all
and
done.
Leicester?
Ipswich on 20, Leicester on 17,
And then who's-
Southampton 10.
and then we're at Wolves at
Wolves
32.
32.
Yeah, this shit's over.
Yeah. Good luck.
So so final day. Not that exciting, except for people trying to get that Champions League
Maybe
spot if
fifth
it's
and-
close.
Yeah, the fifth.
Well, and Europa
'Cause City's in
Conference.
sixth
If you
right
really
now.
want that Europa Conference spot on the last day, then yeah. But
So wait, so sixth is Europa and seventh is conference. now?
well,
6th and 7th will be Europa. We get 2. Premier
In-
League gets 2.
so 8th is conference.
8th will be
Eighth
Well, we're
is
not
conference?
getting any of those.
So United has a shot. Nice. I'm just kidding.
Probably mathematically, yeah.
They're like
It's
15
bunched up
points
right
off
there.
or something.
Yeah.
Of what? 8th?
How far are they from eighth?
Oh, sorry, I'm on the championship. Thought you guys were trying to.
It's really just now
Soccer.
between you and us to see who finishes
Has the
above one
crappier
another.
season?
Yeah, that's it.
8th place Fulham right now on 48. You guys are 10 points back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over.
All right,
With-
so it's 10.
with
but
7
still.
matches though.
We would have to go on a, win 5, draw 2 to get that.
Yeah.
Or, win 6 or something.
Yeah, and have other people have a meltdown.
Yeah, it would be. We still have to play several of the. We still have.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The schedule's not easy.
We got Wolves on Sunday.
We still have 3 teams.
I got you right here.
Bournemouth's
Wolf-
kind of slid down a little bit.
Home to Wolves. Do you win?
That's a setup.
I sure hope so.
That's a setup.
Away to Bournemouth. Away
That's
to Brentford.
Probably a draw. Brentford, that's probably a loss.
You host West Ham.
That should hopefully be a win. Oh, we still have to play Chelsea.
We play again.
Isn't that at Old Trafford or is it at?
That's what I thought.
That's always a fun
Now
match.
it's at the
These
Bridge.
last-
It's at the Bridge.
These last couple of years, United Chelsea's been fun.
Yeah.
And you
Finish
in
that
with
show.
Aston Villa. That's not.
That's
great.
when the United group are going. Actually, they're going to that game.
Are they really?
There's probably about 16 of them.
Damn.
Oh wow.
That's awesome.
If I didn't have a newborn, I'd be trying to go.
Right. Yeah, not a
Was
tough.
Hunter going?
Uh huh. Yeah.
Is
the
he
bodyguard?
Really, is he gonna be able to make it back?
Ask him. I have no idea.
Don't watch this show, Hunter. We weren't talking bad about you.
I would
I'll
imagine
pray
that
for you.
he'll be all right.
That
I was
guy-
staying at that hotel right next to the stadium.
I don't know.
I want to
maybe.
stay at that hotel. I think it's pretty
Maybe.
cool.
Yeah. I don't know.
piss on Beckham's bed.
I haven't asked Tyler all the details of what they're going to do. But
So what does the top of the table Champions League fight look like? Probably Forest and
Is it City in
Bournemouth is
sixth?
slipping. Bournemouth slipped a lot.
yeah, Newcastle.
They played Chelsea.
Oh, Newcastle. Yeah.
I want to see City play in Europa. I think that
That would be funny. That's
That
an
would be
insult to
hilarious.
them, and I love that.
Newcastle's
idea.
got
Let's
a
do that.
game in hand, and they're tied with us on fourth. I don't like that. They're kind of hot.
I think to watch City play in Europa, I'm going to cheer for Newcastle and Chelsea now, just to keep
Yeah.
City out.
Dude, we're gonna disappoint.
Newcastle's a very honest team. They deserve to. They usually deserve what they get.
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
Gordon's
they-
you.
overrated.
Can we run down the?
Huh?
I think Gordon's overrated.
Oh, he's had a quiet year, right? He's not been.
You just don't like him because he's ugly.
He looks like he's on Game of Thrones. One of the guys that get somebody puts a scorpion on his nude body and tortures him.
Killed off in one
I had
episode.
never thought of that, but all right, Dave. Sure.
And now you have. Wait till you get home.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's funny that the EPL, the league, is just not that hot of a topic right now.
I mean,
so this-
Saturday's forecast:
yeah.
City and Palace.
None of these games look that good except for Arsenal and Brentford.
Arsenal, Brentford would be good. Forest and Everton could be good.
Could be. They'll literally leave the ball in the middle of the field and be like, "No, you take it. No, I insist, you take it.
Yeah.
No,
I
we
don't
want to
li-
counter you.
I don't like possession.
You take it.
Sunday, Chelsea, Ipswich. Thank God we're at home.
Yeah, no doubt.
We'll get a lucky bullshit goal to win 2-1. Liverpool hosts West Ham. You're away to Wolves. You gotta beat them.
What? They swept
last.
us 2 years in a row.
Yeah, but we have to play Newcastle.
You're away to Newcastle. Hey, take some.
That could be rough.
Go United. Let's go.
No, they
I need you
are,
to take these points.
They're
I'll
not
take a draw.
they're
I'll
not
take a draw.
horribly inconsistent, but they can be
At home, if
a
they get up
Jekyll and
for it.
Hyde.
Yeah, but they hate us because we beat them in the League
Yeah,
Cup
but-
2 years ago, and they're just super mad about it still.
But they rebounded. Now they got their glory. They won the Carabao.
Maybe
so.
they'll fall off a bit. They got their trophy.
So what else can we talk about with the league being down or not that contested? I guess in all areas.
La Liga's kind of fun with Atletico.
Yeah, there's still a race there.
Madrid and Barcelona both lost last week.
So Real Madrid lost, and then the other two did not. I think they both drew. Maybe
I thought Barcelona lost.
I thought they drew and they didn't.
Oh, did they?
Maybe, but yeah. Either way, they didn't take all the points to separate themselves from Real Madrid,
Oh my God!
and
Yeah,
you
this
can't
is,
really afford to miss those opportunities.
Barcelona 67, Real Madrid 63, Atletico 60.
Yeah, it's
So-
pretty close.
Yeah,
Pretty, pretty entertaining.
Las Palmas not going to make it up this year. Not going to stay up. It's really tough.
You got to feel for
There's
them.
got to be another El Clasico, right?
I think so. Yeah, Barcelona did draw with Real Betis. Well, to be fair, Betis has the GOAT Anthony playing for them. so-
And Johnny
Oh,
Cardoso.
gosh.
I agree.
You know, I didn't even know he left. He's probably doing well over there.
He is. There was a report that
Oh, my God.
Atletico Madrid might come in for $70 million for Anthony. I was like,
Wow.
if anybody offers north of 40, take it immediately.
Because you paid him for like 65. No, it was a
No,
lot
no,
more
no,
now.
80.
It was a lot.
It was like 80,
okay.
85.
Yeah.
It was stupid money.
Yeah. I
El
mean,
Clasico is Sunday, May 11th.
okay, we'll be there.
I
Probably,
mean, like,
probably Mother's Day or something.
if somebody wants to argue Anthony's the biggest flop in Prem history, like I can't argue.
Oh
against
boy,
it.
he's up there, right? Right up there with Eric Jamba Jamba.
Not heard
The Jimba, the Jimba.
Have not heard that.
We had
name.
some good flops, but or I guess they're called bad flops.
Well, we bought Bebe off of just a scout talking to Sir Alex about him.
Hell yeah.
And he played like 2 matches in the Prem or something. Like, he was awful. He was so bad. But it was like 20 or 15 million just for no reason. And that was before that was common, like
Yeah, now
all the
it's-
time.
Now it's pretty typical
Americans in
these
Europe,
days.
anything good happening there? Have you paid attention?
AC Milan
Sargent is
sucks.
still scoring for
Yeah, I saw he got the
Norwich.
winner the other day, right?
Yeah. He
God,
hasn't
here-
played as well for the
here-
U.S., but he's
Here's a
scoring
good
for Norwich.
topic.
Yeah,
Here's a
that's
good
my
topic.
point.
I don't remember which guy it
Yeah,
was.
we need to end on the U.S.
Former
probably.
player, yeah, former player was talking about, obviously the failure we just had in the last cup. That these guys are kind of plugged into their club teams and how the club teams play.
Yeah.
And it's nothing like the national team. The national team's more of a grind, and
Yeah.
it requires more intensity and effort. And they're playing some good teams in Europe.
And sometimes basic soccer.
Yeah, just very comfortable over there, and it just requires more over here in a national team match. And they weren't equipped to do that. I mean, God, the only guy that did worth a shit was Luna, right?
Yep.
The guy. It's all you need is somebody to just run
He's
at
our
the
local
defense.
boy.
Yeah, and so I'm almost. I was thinking about it on the way over here. I'm almost glad it happened to us now. That these guys have got to look in the mirror and go, we can't do that.
It was a big.
There's
big
no
12 months
better
coming up.
stage that we're going to be on. We don't have to qualify. We're already there. We're at
Luckily,
home.
thank God.
So, God, they have got to learn from this and go. It takes. You got to win the 50-50 balls. You got to show in space faster than the other teams. We were so lazy and entitled in that tournament.
I
those
did not
games.
like any of the lineups. I didn't like.
Yeah,
I didn't
well,
like
that
where
was a
Pulisic was
critique. 'Cause-
playing.
Yeah.
And we didn't have Jedi Robinson on left, which was a huge
Doesn't help.
huge miss. Other than that, I don't know if you have. I mean, our strikers are all depleted right now, so we had to play Sargent.
Yeah.
If you have Pepe and Balogun,
We have a
maybe
good
you
pool
play
of
different.
strikers at the end of the day.
Well,
but
if people are healthy, Pulisic doesn't have
Right.
to play in the 10 and just get mauled by these massive center backs and
Yeah.
center defensive mids. Because that's all that was happening to him. He had no. Yeah, he can create, but that's out on the wing. He's not going to dance around you in the middle like Messi can do. Like,
right.
yeah, he can be a 10, but how effective is that shit going to be
Right.
when there's no striker up top threatening and there's no wing play?
God,
Good luck, buddy.
And Jesse Marsh was just loving it, even though he got
And he
thrown
got that
out.
red card.
Yeah, but
Oh,
nonetheless, they won, and he was just basking in his glory.
jerking off in the freaking lot. Yeah.
Oh, but yeah,
He's
Panama.
kind of a prick, but I understand what
No,
he's doing.
I like him. I don't care if he's a little snappy or snippy or whatever you call
I
it.
understand what he's. Yeah, I get it. I would do the same too if I felt like I was wrong.
Right,
He wanted the damn job. And it
right.
Probably Greg Berhalter twice when he thought he was
Right.
going to get it. You know?
How's MLS going in the tables?
Miami's pretty good still. Columbus pretty good.
How far along in the season are we?
Portland's got some decent results
Six
lately.
matches in.
Peter Vermes got let go finally after.
Yeah, Vancouver's leading the West.
The Old
You know
Testament.
who's second in the West? San Diego FC.
Okay.
Inauguration season.
I was gonna say, didn't they just start?
Yeah.
Do they have any notable players?
Chucky Lozano?
Oh,
from
yeah.
Mexico.
Yeah.
He's tearing it
Okay.
up. They're just a good side.
It's a pretty good market. I mean, do they have their own dedicated ground, or are they playing it?
Oh yeah, and Luca
Okay.
De La Torre is there as well as a U.S. prospect.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
from San Diego.
He played in the World Cup, the last World Cup.
Yep. He's there. They're
Well,
not
good for
bad.
them. Yeah.
The LA teams are performing very poorly.
Maybe San Diego. Maybe that's my team. Maybe I'll just pick
We're
them.
gonna take the lead.
Yeah.
Columbus just got a striker from Philadelphia, Gazdag, who's a really good striker. Just a straight up cash swap. So
Yeah.
Columbus, I would look at Columbus battling Miami in the East. Miami's good up top and in the midfield when they're healthy, but you watch their matches, dude. It is chaotic sometimes at the back.
Who's
and with the keeper. So
what
it's like
imports are on that? Who from Spain? Who
they
came over?
pick all those. Mascherano's the coach.
Good lord.
They got Busquets, Jordi Alba.
Busquets was the one in
and
Alba.
Luis
Wow.
Suarez.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you look at that, you're like, yeah, they should win the league. But The other guys on their squad, they're okay, but you can tell it's we do what they say type play. We have to play through them.
There's a seniority situation going on there.
And it's usually a chaotic match in Miami, so they get a lot of the calls, not going to lie. But I think Columbus is probably right up there with them. They're probably a better collective team.
They're 1 point ahead of them in the table right now.
Yeah, I mean, Columbus is really, really good.
Down to the USL, I guess that's what we'll be re-entering in 3 years, whatever it is.
17 years from
Trent,
now.
what happened to your Galaxy, man?
Dude, they are banged up, and I
They're
think
all the way at the bottom.
they have the worst start, I think, maybe to a MLS season ever for a reigning champ.
That's your team, Galaxy?
I've followed them my whole life. Basically,
Okay.
Just basically their popularity from
Oh, sure,
the
I get
90s
it.
and
Robbie Keane, Beckham,
Donovan,
Donovan.
Beckham, like all that stuff. So they were the one team on TV all the time. Them and
Yeah,
DC
of
United,
course.
and I was not going to be a DC United.
No, they were good early.
I mean, I remember Alexi
Jaime
Lawless playing
Moreno and all those
like,
guys.
Oh, they were really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really good.
Harks was on there.
Echeverry, yeah.
Yeah.
Marco Echeverry.
Jeez.
Harks was, oh yeah.
That was back when it was the New York Metro Stars.
Metro Stars, San Diego
Kansas
Flash,
City Wizards.
Dallas Burn.
Yeah.
Miami Fusion. We had Tampa Bay Mutiny, I believe,
Wow.
throwing it back. But yeah, I've always followed LA, and then my wife was from LA, and then I met her family, and they were all into MLS, like on the Mexican side of LA. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, this works.
Nice.
It's a good fit.
But yeah, they've had a horrible start. They're all banged up. The best player in the MLS, I think, is their center mid.
Who's that?
Ricky Puig. Well, besides the obvious, I'm saying.
Right.
I'm not counting Messi, okay? I think he's
He
really
sucks,
good player.
honestly.
And this guy was in the Barcelona academy with
Okay.
Messi and played at Barcelona, and he came over here because he wasn't getting an opportunity under Xavi. So
How long is
But
this
he tore his
Messi?
ACL.
How long is this Messi thing going to go on for? Not that I'm sick of him, but it's just
He's
like
going to wait for
at one point.
Ronaldo to retire, and then he's going
At
to go
this
2
level,
more years. And
I'd
retire.
probably 2 more years.
Just to
I mean,
match Ronaldo.
you just threw a number out there, but I think 2 more years of it.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think Ronaldo
After
and
the
Messi
World
want
Cup-
to play in the World Cup.
In the World Cup.
Oh,
and then
absolutely.
Maybe he has a swan song.
And
in the
they're
last season
they're
or some shit.
legit still. I mean, they're not. They're they let the
Watch both
ball
of
let the
them.
ball do the work, man.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah, I mean, they're all
I
right.
mean, Ronaldo.
They're all right. They're
Ronaldo
pretty
will
good.
always be in shape, and he's a winger, and he's gonna be just fine.
Oh, hey, we didn't cover any of this. It looks like
I believe it.
I saw a report Liverpool are going to try and keep Salah and Van Dijk,
That
It's like
sounds
both of
weird.
them, yeah.
which is a big deal. I mean, they're both still performing really well.
Salah,
I thought it
who
would be
else? Who
crazy
else?
to let Salah go this
And
season.
who else?
Right.
Van Dijk.
Well, yeah. And Alexander Arnold he's hurt and going to Real Madrid. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's not very popular right now.
No.
Not with the Liverpool crowd.
And he's
Well-
from Liverpool, so it's kind of wild to see him. Come
Well,
but I mean, it's Madrid.
You don't turn that down.
it's always a question of where does he fit in the field, and how good is he?
Right,
Like
where you
in the
gonna
England
play
and the Euros. You know, they're always talking about how he was misplayed.
Does Madrid still have Carvajal playing at right back? Danny
When
Carvajal?
he's healthy, I think.
He's probably hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good fit for old TAA.
They
Oh
played
yeah,
Vasquez
it's
there,
the
too.
logical move, right?
Yeah, Vasquez too. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, Carvajal's definitely up there in age, so they probably need somebody.
He'll probably be at Inter Miami next year.
But you could also,
There you
and I
go.
mean, the way their wingers play and like to get in behind sometimes. I mean, he can play balls over the top all day and try and find players.
Oh shit. Speaking of, I transfer rumor that I just made up, but Kevin De Bruyne,
Yeah.
leaving Man City.
time.
Inter Miami's been rumored to have his discovery rights.
Good lord,
Whatever
he
that
just
means.
doesn't. He's an injury away from a career ender. I mean, he should. He doesn't need to be putting in.
He is coming to MLS. I just
Yeah,
don't know
he
where.
doesn't need to be putting in that much work. I mean, if he wants to, but God, it would be nice for him to just kind of like.
Do your Pirlo play
Yeah.
in MLS and retire in a
Correct.
sunny state somewhere.
Where do you guys think he ranks amongst Premier League, midfield greats?
This
In
is
the
a
top.
Because that's the
hard one.
argument right
This
now.
is a very hard one. Is he top 10? Yes.
Top 10,
Is
yes.
he top 5? I don't know.
That's really close.
Smaller window, but Rodri surpassed him.
You think?
I mean, he won the freaking
God,
Ballon
he's
d'Or.
so good. I mean, that guy. Look how bad City is without him.
yeah.
But
But that might be more to the system and the setup. than
yeah, that's what I'm
anything.
saying. And plus sample size.
roles,
De Bruyne's
different roles.
sample size is huge.
Different
So
roles.
yeah, and, with the injuries, it was always hard for him because he had some pretty bad injuries that kept him out
Top
for a
5?
while. But
I'll say no.
But what Gerrard did, Lampard did, Scholes did.
I'd take all
Yeah,
those
he's not above them.
I'd take
Roy
all those
Keane,
guys.
Vieira.
I'd take all those guys.
I mean, I don't know that
Right.
you put him above them.
Aaron Lennon. Yeah, I get it. Jermaine Genius. Got to go with those guys.
Moussa Dembele.
That's everyone's favorite player. You talk about guys.
was he a better Premier League player than Eden Hazard?
Dembele?
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne.
Oh,
Dembele? Are you
that's-
fucking kidding me?
That's pretty good. Hazard, De Bruyne. That's pretty good.
I know he's got the trophies on one side, but
That's the argument.
the play.
I call it a
Hazard
draw.
was
I mean, I
Different positions.
I don't
too.
care for
Correct.
Chelsea, but I loved Hazard. I would
He's
watch him.
Crazy
That's a
good.
natural-
I thought he was awesome.
It's a natural.
He's probably
dude
400
with the
pounds
ball.
right now.
Hopefully.
Him and Snyder.
Him and Wesley Sneijder.
Oh boy.
Man, I don't know who I'd pick because I really like De Bruyne. I just
Like,
think
would you
he's
take
awesome.
Giggs or De Bruyne?
You got to go Giggs.
I'd go.
And again,
Also,
it's just
different
a,
position.
That's
but,
tough too.
Like,
I really like De Bruyne.
all-time great. Like
yeah.
Giggs has double the trophies.
Well, a lot of it
Giggs
comes
has
down to
13,
your window of time that you've played.
Yaya Toure or Kevin De Bruyne.
I really liked Yaya. I'd probably take Yaya.
Amazing.
See, there we
You
go.
liked him?
Dude,
I
he was
did. I
unbelievable.
mean, I respected his
Secretly,
game. I
he was
respected his
unbelievable.
game.
It was effortless for him. That was one of those guys that had so much natural talent.
So maybe
yeah.
he's not top 10.
he
I
was
don't
2
know.
or 3 steps ahead of the defenders.
Is he better than
at all
Cesc
times.
Fabregas in the midfield?
I
Yeah.
might take him over Cesc because Cesk's vision and passing was elite,
And they're
but
all-
he didn't get up and down the pitch.
All
like-
these guys are different players, though. That's
what I'm
the
saying.
deal.
It's true.
So it's kind of hard to categorize.
But I feel like you could put De Bruyne in any period of the Prem over the last 3 decades,
Oh, yeah.
and he would fit just fine.
I agree.
Any team, anywhere in the world.
Yeah, I think he'd
that
be
guy's
fine.
going to be an all.
One of his classic deals was kind of being on the wing a little bit and just cutting diagonally across the pitch.
Yep.
It was just something that you
Yeah.
don't see from a lot of players,
No.
and it just
Maybe we
it took so
underrated
many
it.
players with him.
We got used
that
to it.
made other players open.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
he was so good.
Well, maybe at the end of the season we can put some lists.
I was about to say
together.
we could maybe do an episode of all the all-time.
and we probably have to talk about Salah too. Dude, where do we put him?
That's another one with
Yeah.
with him and Eden Hazard. Obviously, I'm biased, but I'm like, if you put him versus him, and I'm picking one of them, I'm taking Hazard over him.
I'd still take Hazard too,
But it's weird. But the stats back up Salah in every stat. No
Well,
matter.
that's the thing is that you have, especially looking
Yeah, but
back
they were-
on the eye.
But there were years that Chelsea just fell off with Hazard, and then they came back
Well,
up.
Hazard carried a
Salah
shit ton of
with
bad Chelsea
Liverpool
teams.
have been up at the top like the whole time,
Liverpool's been a great overall team. Hazard was
Yeah.
on just some.
up and down.
Yeah.
Think
you
about
look
it.
at the
This is
roster.
why it's a little more difficult to figure out with players like Giggs, Scholes. It used to be players weren't, especially EPL, weren't going to Spain, weren't going around the world.
Yeah.
And you've got, Giggs played his whole career. Well, did he play his whole career at United? He was Academy guy, right?
he
So,
might
I
have
mean,
been-
you're
yeah.
getting Scholes, so
Maybe
you're
alone.
seeing these guys play for, 15, 20 years, whatever it was.
yeah.
So,
Right.
so then you can look
Gerrard.
at that and go, that body of work is untouchable.
Right.
But then you got, somebody that comes in like Salah. I mean, shit, when did Salah come? 15?
But he
Well, he was
also
with
plays-
you for a while.
Salah
After-
also plays more of a right wing, where like if you want to compare him to like other right wing / right mids, Beckham sat back way more and played a completely different
Salah
role.
takes all
Totally
the pins,
different
too.
because Ferguson wanted 2 strikers in the box, and Beckham just
The
swinging
service,
forward.
the service was going to be
Salah's not
immaculate.
told to do that. He's told to go try and score. I mean, he definitely does some assisting,
Right.
but he's great at
He's a
scoring.
goal scorer, man.
So I don't know. I mean, it's just completely different setups as well. But yeah, I think Salah's a great player and will go
Hard
down
to
as a
play some of
Prem
those
legend.
guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But there are several players that I think I would pick over him
Yeah.
myself.
It's weird, yeah.
But yeah, he's a great
Christian
player.
Pulisic, Giorena, yeah.
Yeah.
He's Salah historically has had
Dempsey.
a lot of good players around him. Liverpool, let's face it, has always been one of the more balanced teams from front to back.
They're just
So
solid
he
everywhere.
let's say he benefits a little bit from a lot of
being a
good
great
football
team.
around him. But
He's awesome.
But it's something we should
He's
talk about.
He
at
has
the
like
end of the
40
season.
goals and
Let's do that.
assists this year. Like it's incredible.
yeah, it's sick. And it's
Yeah.
so consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting from him.
So
every
they'd be
time.
crazy not to resign him. So I wasn't
I agree.
surprised
I
to
was-
see that
I was-
news come up.
It could turn though, really quick.
Sure.
Happened to Eden Hazard. You hurt
Sure.
your ankle in one damn training session, and
Right.
fat ass is never the same again.
Or you could have a Messi and be like, "I'm staying." Never mind.
Yeah, no shit.
Well, I think I don't know what the rest of the season looks like for podcasts, but it was good to be back.
The weather's good. We need to get out more.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
we'll find some
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 outside.
outdoor locations.
As long as our
backyard's
damn
always
soccer schedules line up.
everyone's favorite.
Yeah, our schedules are
Yeah,
nuts
it happens.
opposite right now.
Spring's
happens.
always the worst.
but-
Summertime's actually slow for us.
So prediction for your game this weekend?
We gotta win that. Yeah. 3-1. Cole Palmer finds his shit again.
At Wolves. 1-1. I mean, I don't
The
know.
Molyneux.
God, I hate it. I can't stand playing them, and
It's gross, isn't it?
it's gross. That's a perfect word for it. I say 1-1. God, I hope it's 2-1 us, but I'm just being realistic. If we're, in the real
Bad-
world,
It's bad. We're all sitting here like
Ah.
questioning our results.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
we really have nothing to lose.
I'm
That's
gonna-
the good news now. We don't,
Right.
Other than our manager,
right. Just don't get injured. That's what I watch our games on the Prim now for. Is like, please don't let anybody get injured.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1-1, but I could easily see Newcastle winning 2-1 or 2-0 because
You guys shut it down and play
yeah.
defensive-minded football.
I think that'll be a good
Onana
match.
oh gosh.
I think you guys are slightly getting
You're not gonna
somewhere.
bow down.
Oh, we're actually playing better
Yeah, I-
under Emrim,
I
except the
think-
forwards suck. Our forwards
Yeah.
just, unless Bruno does something magical, our forwards suck.
That's been saving you guys a lot this year.
So you're ready for your
Well, not
match.
saving enough. We're still in 13th.
So you're ready for your match tonight. What position do you play?
Dude, I'm old now. I have to play back a lot.
I'm-
I like to see everything in front of me and just pick up, try to
I'm at
pass
that
it.
place.
I like
Of course,
it.
I was always as a natural defender, but you're right. It gets to that point where it's like,
I can't run like I used
right,
to. So.
right. Just stay in your lane. Contain, and see what's in
You
front
would
of you.
enjoy playing with me more.
I'm going to. I'm going to.
Because you used to yell at me about going forward.
Eh,
So.
I'm going to. I can't yell anymore. My blood pressure's too high.
Second question: do you guys? You guys go through to the next round of
Yes.
conference?
Yes.
No.
Really? You don't think so?
At Frankfurt, it's tied. I just can't see. I would love it if we just nutted up and just gave the performance of the season.
Yeah.
Because Ange's job is kind of hanging on it, depending on who
Right.
you talk to.
Right.
So it would.
I felt better about
If
the
the players
chances
really
until you
want
told me
him,
they were third.
Yeah, if the players want him there, then this would be the time to just let it all hang out.
I'm going to say
Gosh,
United
I don't
go
think
through
so.
just because they're at home against Lyon.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Lyon score and we have to figure out, how to score 2 goals to go through. Or
It's going to be intense. Yours is going to be very intense.
yeah, it'll be a good match.
Every game we have in the Prem is like that. Like, we don't have points to miss at this point. We have to make Champions League.
yeah.
We can't
The
miss
scary
out on
part
it.
for you guys is City is still lurking back
I
there.
know.
And
City and Newcastle are right on
if
our
they
ass.
ever figure it out, then you're all of a sudden back
Well,
in
luckily
Europa.
Holland's probably out the remainder.
Oh, is he?
Do what?
They said Holland's out for like 4 or 5 weeks.
That definitely helps.
Who's the guy that got in the
Marmouche,
January
who's
window?
tearing it up.
Marmouche, yeah.
Yeah.
He's really good.
He is good. They keep finding these players that
Yeah,
I'm like,
of course.
who?
They're like,
I barely
I
even
mean,
I've ever heard of them, and all of a sudden they show up and they're like, awesome.
We've got Ipswich, Fulham, Everton next before we play Liverpool.
I mean, that's not horrible.
So if we get 9 points there, I'd be ecstatic, honestly.
Yep.
And then if
I
you
don't
get a
expect
draw
it.
from Liverpool,
Dude,
you'd be
that'd
in
be
good
great.
shape.
10 points, right?
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's the best case scenario, honestly, yeah.
Right. Right.
All right.
All right,
Well,
guys.
I think we covered
good to
quite
be
a bit
back.
of ground.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely,
Good to
guys.
see you guys in the flesh.
Yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to see any more of your
I forgot what you
flesh.
guys looked like. You look the same. So good job.
Yeah, fat. Okay, cool. We're
Get
out.
more sun.
Deuces.
How would you? So you put this on the shared drive. What do you do?